Merry Christmas and welcome to another episode of Christmas Crafting with JulieDCole.com. Today we're going to make this paper star. This paper star is probably moderately difficult. We need a few supplies. I've got some scrapbook paper and I've also got my sewing machine. We're just doing simple straight stitch if you're not familiar with a sewing machine. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. Mine's small, so I've got 2. You need enough to cut out 2 of the larger stars. So I've just stacked mine on top of each other and I'm going to go ahead and trace this big star. You can get a star template at JulieDCole.com. Once I get this star traced onto these pieces of paper, then I'm going to go ahead and grab my other paper which has the music notes on it. I'm going to use the smaller star on that paper. So I'm just going to flip it over and trace that onto the back. At this point, I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and I'm just cutting everything out. Since these 2 stars are on top of each other, I'm just cutting them both out at the same time. Saves me a little time. And then I'm going to cut the smaller star out as well. Once I've got everything cut out, I'm going to grab one of the big stars and the smaller star that I've done on the music notes. I'm just going to kind of lay that smaller star on top of the bigger one so it's sort of centered. And then I'm just going to straight stitch all the way around the edges of this star. Once I've got the smaller star sewn to one of the bigger stars, I'm going to have to go ahead and attach all of these together. And I'm going to thread a piece of ribbon in between, then I'm going to sew that in place. So I'm just going to, I've folded the ribbon in half and I've just kind of set it along the point of one of the stars. I'm going to lay my first star that I sewed on top of that. And then I'm going to start sewing right near where that ribbon is, and I'm just going to continue all the way around. And that's going to hold the ribbon in place. So I'm just snipping off the extra strings and I've got my star ready to go, and you can see my handles in place. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the extra designs to it. So I've got a few things here. I've collected a few buttons out of my husband's grandmother's button box, and I've also got some of these Christmas craft snowflakes that I got at Hobby Lobby. And so I'm just going to get my hot glue gun and grab my star here, and I'm going to put a little dab of glue just in the center here, and I'm going to pick out one of these little snowflakes and I'm going to position it in the middle of the star. And I've got there's a couple selections in that package. Just pick whichever one you think looks the best. I'm going to press that in place. Then I'm going to add a small little dab of glue so that I can glue down my button of choice. And I chose mostly gold, brown, and kind of cream colored buttons since it kind of went with my paper. So I've got my button glued down, and that's it. My ornament is done. Thanks for crafting with me. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel for more Christmas crafting, and JulieDCole.com for tutorials and printables.